to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirusho here. Now, whenever we last left off, Jiro has just been approached by a ring. But, let's pick up somewhere else. Let's also pick up about 2 weeks later. Izuku Midoriya. In his time within the X-Pit, he's discovered something. You do have Umbrax. He usually does try and fight for dominance, Midoriya keeping him at bay. Along with that, Umbrax does feel a majority of his pain. A lot of it. Meaning that if Deku feels it, he feels it too. Him screaming and usually begging Midoriya to put up a shield. Put up something to protect their body. Midoriya reaffirming that it's his body. And that he can do damn well whatever he pleases. Him using this pain to hurt Umbrax. And torture him. Trying to actually creep into his own mind. And take back control there. Umbrax keeping him at bay this time. Usually Gretchen Good, or Granny I believe they can call her. I'm not sure the name she goes by on Darkseid's planet, but whatever. They usually check in on Midoriya. She keeps him in there for an hour or so and see how he's acting. After the first hour, she checked on him. He was holding up fairly well. Then she moved that time up to hour 3. Then so on and so forth. She didn't check on him for an entire day once, coming back to find him still basically screaming in agony. Although it seems like he has lessened now, his body growing accustomed to the pain, pulling him out on week 1, or after 1 week, and ask him how does he feel. Him not saying a single word, along with finally taking a deep breath. His screams have been shallow, trying to take in as much oxygen as possible, otherwise he feels like he might suffocate. Now, she would have also gotten him to do some light training, along with allowing him to actually sleep, and then throwing him back in there for another week. As while that's going on, let's cut back to 2 weeks of Jiro. She's flying through space. Along with actually following the directions this ring is telling her. She's being told to report back to Space Sector 1416, or 1416. Now, whenever she does arrive, she would have actually been confused and see what is going on. Kind of confused at the color of this planet. It's very pink. Yeah, this is weird. As she would have landed. A lot of people actually staring at her. And some being confused. Half of her outfit is the Star Sapphire outfit, while the other half is the Red Lantern outfit. Them being quite surprised. Someone approaching her and asking her exactly what is she doing on this planet, and as to how did she get a ring. Her basically just explaining. She's fairly certain from how this works, you know how I got a ring. Her just saying, not our ring, the other one. Her explained that she was already a member of that corps. In fact, well, she's not a recent member actually, she's been around for 2 months. Some people actually staring at her. That's whenever all this weird mayhem started. some actually giving her a weird look. Now, this is whenever she would have been instructed and told by quite a lot of them exactly what they're going to be doing, putting her through her paces. Her basically just doing everything she did for the Red Lantern Corps, except using love as a power. Now, along with that, she would have gotten explained and told exactly what she can do with the ring, along with an ability where she can teleport to her beloved. Finding that to be a bit useless. Somewhat saying that out loud. Before someone does go to basically insult her, saying that this power has aided them greatly and has helped them save love. Her just explained that that is not what she means. Her beloved is dead. A lot of them not really sure what to say. That is, well, very sad news. Some people actually asking questions, and a lot of them being a bit more surprised to hear about this boy. Apparently, back on Earth, weird, she has the same home planet as one of their leaders. Back on Earth, she met a guy who would defend her with his life. And, well, after a lot of things happened, he eventually was able to put that to the test. Whenever she lost her quirk, as she calls it, explaining exactly what happened and who did it, it would eventually lead up to exactly the night of her becoming a Red Lantern. Explaining that he burst into the wall and was wearing a weird outfit. The purple one. Some of them being confused. Her just explaining that after that happened, she sort of just found out that one of the guys who did this who took her quirk away, was alive, beating him to death, and then the ring found her. She then met up with him again in space. Then again, it also at the same time wasn't him. The leader of the Star Sapphires finally coming out. And just asking exactly if it was the young boy who goes by the name Izuku Midoriya. Her just explained that yes, it was. He was a fairly good person. Before all this lantern business started with us. A lot of these Sapphires confused. Carol Ferris explaining that the young boy she is describing is the Ultraviolet Lantern, the one who butchered Jessica Cruz, and who nearly massacred and destroyed quite a lot of civilizations, taking down a small portion of their own corp, along with killing a guardian. A lot of them being surprised, and a bit more cautious about the new girl. Until Carol would explain that it was not the boy's fault. He was merely used as a pawn. They have dealt with the Ultraviolet Lanterns once before. In fact, she believes that she helped Kyle Rayner with the situation, although it arising again was unexpected. Leading to today, or well, what happened earlier. The boy died in a planetary explosion, along with taking out Umbrex. A lot of them kind of confused, and asking what she means. Her pointing to the stars, and saying that the data shows that the incident around this time was that planet. Her basically is holding up a ring and showing a pre-recording. It shows the planet being, well, the skies being calm and quiet, before the sudden burst of power. A purple light and a green one. The two battling each other for dominance before a final blast of willpower. and the planetary explosion. A lot of the Star Sapphires are in shock. That boy had that much willpower. Them unaware of Mogo and the planetary blast they sent that way. A lot of them actually apologizing and stating that they are really sorry, along with trying to explain to her that her beloved is someone special then. If they died for, well, the peace of the universe, then they shall be honored. The next thing they say, though, is kind of a bit odd. Even though he is a man. Yeah. So for those of you confused at that, the Star Sapphires are entirely a female corp. But whenever needed, well, conveniently, whenever needed, they lighten up on their tendencies. Meaning that if a guy gets in their corp, they loosen up their rules. Anyways, let's cut back to the actual story. Back over with Midoriya. Over on Apocalypse, Midoriya has been pulled out of the pit once again. And this time, he is actually a lot more compliant. Obeying Gretchen Good. Or, wait, Granny Goodness was the name. There it is. I finally figured it out. And listening to what she has to say. Them actually putting the boy into a gladiatorial arena against some smaller creatures. Darkseid just watching the boy's progress. As whenever he does try and at least use his ultraviolet power, it would somewhat be hard to control. Him being able to at least conjure up a few blasts. Now, Midoriya, he is trying to be careful. Even though he can run around the arena and attack and try and defend, he is still only on foot and without his focusing device, his ring. As he does at least throw up his hands and make a basic construct. Whenever he throws at his left hand to try and make a chain, it basically forms a long whip, still serving the same purpose. Then again, it's a lot more, well, basic, I guess you can say. As it would wrap around the creature, Midoriya would just begin to pull at it, beginning to smash it around the arena, along with swinging it into a couple of the other ones he's fighting, running back in fighting for Darkseid's amusement. As he does get covered into them, some of them biting into his shoulder blades and into his arms, Umbrax screaming as he feels the pain. Midoriya just disregarding it. Right now it's the only thing he likes to feel, since Umbrax begs for it to stop. He's finally figured out the weakness to this godly figure, or this godly power, from beyond his universe. It has never felt human. It can be torn apart, yes, but it has never felt a single ounce of pain. However, he's felt pain before. He's grown accustomed to it, and he has learned from it. It has been his teacher for years. As he basically just throw himself in a ball and create a bubble around him, blasting outwards with all the power he can muster, throwing away quite a lot of the creatures and killing all of them. As he basically just turn and bow to Darkseid, bring his arm down to his knee and just lowering his head. And Darkseid just telling him that he has been doing well, and that he will be leading a new attack. Along with that, I believe that you should head towards Earth. Find your allies. And, well, bring me the head of Kyle Rayner. I believe that his white ring will be the key to my success. Midoriya is looking up and asking Darkseid, My lord, whatever do you mean? That ring, it is of life. That is what it is called. It has brought back the Earth's heroes multiple times. Midoriya's eyes widening, and just saying that, my lord, surely if a power exists that can do that. Darkseid just staring at Midoriya. His eyes beginning to glow with the Omega beams. Midoriya just looking back down, saying that respectfully, my lord, I believe that there is a power opposite to that, isn't there? That would possibly be connected to anti-life. Darkseid just saying that he does believe a ring like that exists. The Black Lantern ring. However, that ring, it isn't around anymore. The only one who held such power is stuck in the source. He has been locked away with it, dooming himself to torment. Midoriya asks exactly what he means by torments. Whenever you are stuck from the source, nothing can remove you. Not even I can remove myself. If I were stuck to the source, I would have to abandon my vessel and find a new one. Midoriya understanding and getting back up. As Darkseid just lowers the bulb around Midoriya's ultraviolet ring, it floating towards his finger. Midoriya slipping it on and his outfit changing. Whenever it does come up into the one in the picture, he would just change it and modify it a bit, moving around the color schemes and creating a long jacket, or at least something that he can't have. He creates a wrapping to cover his face and around his head, along with basically a bounty hunting trench coat. Something that will at least make him look different from before. As he does take flight and start barreling his way through space. As soon as that happens, we will cut over to Jiro. As she is confused. During her training today, she would actually have her ring start glowing. Her red lantern ring. Thinking that this is atrocious, wondering where she is, she would ignore it. Until it happens again. The ring saying incoming transmission from unknown source. Her confused and sitting down. Whenever she does walk over and sit down, patching through the transmission, she would hear a voice that she thought she would never hear again. Hey there, sunshine. How you been? Her just freaking out and falling over. And getting back up. Quite a lot of people seeing her as she just holds up her rings and disappear. As Midoriya barreling through space would immediately just be stopped. He would feel himself be pulled backwards by his leg. Jiro immediately pulling him in and just telling Umbrex that she has had enough of him. And that you need to, before she opens her eyes, looking directly at him and seeing his outfits. It has changed. It still does support the logo of the core. Until Midoriya does basically just take off the things covering his face. And his eyes and his mouth, they finally match. Some of that innocence is still in there. Looking to see what she does not believe. A smile instead of a sinister grin. And a bit of calm in his eyes. Her flying directly into him and kissing him. Midoriya taken aback but pulling her in. Into a deep kiss. Something he's regretted not doing. Ever since the first time he's ever met this girl. Something he does not regret anymore. Finally pulling away. and her just asking a question. How are you even? You're supposed to be. You're alive? Yeah, long story. Anyways, long story short, I'm sort of. Well, how's the best way to say it? I'm controlling Umbrex now, not the other way around. He's stuck in my head, and he doesn't like pain. Her confused at that statement, as he would go on stating that Umbrex has never felt human. The only thing I need to keep him in check is to get in a serious fight. I can also start to use my abilities without the ring. So that just shows that Umbrex, whenever he lost his physical form as that planet, he tried to escape into me. I absorbed too much of that power, meaning that I am basically like a living battery. Well, yeah, actually, but what's going on with you? Midoriya is bringing his hands up and moving downwards, pointing at her entire outfit. Her just saying that it's a bit confusing. After she thought he died, she kinda got a new job offer from another corps. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, anyways. As she basically just fly closer to Midoriya and ask exactly what are they going to plan on doing. Him just explaining they are going to head back to Earth. Her telling him that he's crazy. Him just saying that he understands. Finally landing on the Red Lantern planets, and them seeing his face. Atrosh just walking forward and just saying that he is got a lot of nerve. You have been dead, as I've heard, for over 2 weeks. And you are finally back. Listen, if you weren't going to be or help me take down the Greens, then should just kill you on the spot. Midoriya just bringing his hand up and doing one thing, telling Atrocitus that is alright. Atrocitus actually looking at Midoriya a bit more confused, before he realizes that this is the actual person that the ring is attached to. Midoriya just stating that he's been through a lot. And first off, I believe introductions are proper. I'm the actual Izuku Midoriya, the one Umbrex tried to control. Now, I have his power. Atrocitus kind of, scared actually. If this human can take down and overpower an entity of Umbrex's caliber, then that shows how dangerous they can be. Along with the fight alone, no human could have survived that. Trying to get an explanation out of him. Before he would just do one thing. He would just tell Atrocitus that they are going to be heading for Earth. And that they need to take someone down. This man will be quite dangerous. So, him walking over and looking into the blood pool, saying that he is going to need a lantern ring. You really expect me to give you a red ring? After everything I've been through, yes I do. Him surprises Midoriya would just turn around, coursing with shame, saying that after everything he's been through, I've been through enough hell to rival even your pain. Your sector of space, 666, destroyed by the Manhunters. Big fucking whoop, Atrocitus. Guess what? I've butchered enough space sectors. My hands have seen more blood than this planet has in its entire span. So, I'll tell you one thing. My hands are not clean. I sent that actual blast that killed the Guardian. And those Green Lanterns. Those deaths are my doing. The billions and trillions Umbrex cause, they don't mean I'm clean either. Especially since I planned on jumping off a rooftop whenever he made that offer to me. I was going to take my own life. You, at least, had the comfort in knowing you can embrace someone in the final moments, only for them not to come. Midoriya just bringing his hand out and telling Umbrex that now are you going to give me a ring or not? I need to go get the head of a Green Lantern. Atrocity is just standing there not saying a single word. The only part he paid attention to was something about his space sector. And, well, getting someone's head. Him just saying that he will need to repeat the oath. Handing over a ring and Midoriya slipping it on. As he just fills up with rage, falling over onto the ground, or bring his he's still standing there as he would bring his hands onto his knees, and begin to just cough up quite a lot of blood. Atroz is doing one thing, bringing his leg upwards and smashing Midoriya into the guts, kicking him directly into the blood pool. Midoriya getting back up immediately, as he would just bring his hand up. On each hand is a single ring. Rage and shame. Two of his most powerful emotions. The ones he doesn't have, he will acquire. As he would just walk back over to Jiro, giving her a very passionate kiss. All the other lanterns watching, as he would just say that they are going to Earth. Now. Okay, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And I believe after the next part, or, well, part... Well, never mind, I was going to say something, but I believe I should at least get up to there first. Anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed.